Down in the place to be. Forget your cares anymore, most definitely.
What goes on, guys? Today we're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new-ish. I think they came out a little bit ago, but I just got them, and I'll explain the story, and I wanted to get a video out for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at the DAH Beast Kingdom Dynamic Action Heroes Powerpuff Girls set. So, the manliest of men know what this is about. So we got Bubbles, Buttercup, Blossom, but not only that, we got their arch enemy, Mojo Jojo, which I'm very excited for. Now, these aren't like really in scale with anything that I super like enjoy like my line of collecting, so to speak, but I think they're just too cool to pass up, and I don't see anybody else making Powerpuff Girls figures anytime soon. Now, I'm not going to do the rotating base for these guys just because the packaging's pretty much the same on all of them, except, you know, Mojo's is purple, so on the sides, you get to see them, and then obviously it'll be the respective girls for each one of them. So this is Buttercup's box, and then Mojo Jojo. On the side, you just get the continued image of them from the front, like that. So it's literally just her foot and his cape. And then on the bottom, there you go. Now, you can see it says 120 for the set of Powerpuff Girls and 90 for Mojo. Now, you're probably like, wow, that's a lot of bread to cough up. And I would agree with you if I paid that much. Unfortunately, one of my favorite stores that I've actually promoted on the channel here a couple of times, Blue Line Collectibles in Philadelphia, is going out of business. So my good friend is giving us a good sale. It was originally going to be 25% off, but since I was a loyal customer for years, he gave me 50% off of everything. So I got all of these for less than the price of what it would just be to get the 3 Powerpuff Girls. He really hooked me up. I got some other things too I'll be talking about when I open them. I paid $150 and I got these, a Super 7 figure, and a $40, well, it was $40, it's not anymore, a Hunger Games figure, which I'm very excited for. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and pop these girls and monkey open. So after whipping up some ingredients in the cauldron, I was able to create the Powerpuff Girls. But with every great hero comes a villain. And we also got Mojo Jojo. And man, these are pretty awesome. Now, I do have a couple little issues with them, but for the most part, I really, really like them. And I really can't complain. I got them half off. I got the whole set for less than what it would have cost to get. For like almost the same price as just getting Mojo. So, I'm pretty freaking happy about it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to do Mojo last just because he's the only like actual different mold from the other ones. But my personal favorite is Blossom. So I'm going to go ahead and do her first. And most of the stuff I'm going to say about her, I can say about the other ones, other than, of course, the head sculpts. And the paint is so clean on these. The sculpt is crisp. Obviously, these are a lot bigger than 6-inch scale. I mean, I do scaling at the end, but here they are next to Darwin. The Powerpuff Girls are not that big. I mean, they're smaller, and these aren't, like, terrible. I mean, like, usually they're supposed to be about, like, maybe up to his knee. So now that she's up to his waist, it's not terrible. It's just they're wide, like, if... You guys know what I mean, but I'm okay with it. And Mojo, I kind of feel like he's a fine size, at least in my opinion. Could he be a little bit smaller? Maybe, but, again, we'll go over scale a little bit more later. But I love the way that they did the head sculpt. So the skin is a matte finish, whereas the eyes, the big old eyes, are glossy. So is the hair, and the bow is also a matte finish, which is really nice. I actually think there's a little bit of like airbrushing to shade the bow, which is a really nice touch. You get like a little clip on the back with the heart. And then obviously, I think it's a little light for Blossom in terms of color. Like, I think... Like, on the box, you can kind of see that it's supposed to be a little bit of a darker pink. Like, this is, like, borderline white. It doesn't bother me that much, but it is noticeable. Especially, like, there's no good images. Like, all right, yeah, on the front. Like, you can see, like, that's, like, a vibrant pink, whereas this is more like this color pink. So, it does bother me a little bit. It's not awful. But I do kind of wish that was done a little bit differently, because the other girls have very saturated dresses. And as you can see, you know, you get their little, like, feet with, like, their little shoes, like, their little church shoes. And then the stands do come out, but I'm going to leave the stands on because, obviously, they really can't do anything without the stands. They cannot stand without them. So I think they look great, or she looks great. In terms of articulation, I'm only going to go over it with Blossom, and then there is one thing on Bubbles that's a little bit different, but there's a ball joint on the bow. And now I thought it was stripping the plastic, but it's actually just the paint coming off, which still is a little bit annoying, but it's fine. And then it can rotate, so if you want to like flying, whatever, I like it like this a little bit more. But then you get a ball joint at the neck, so it can rotate, and then it's like a double ball peg, so she can look up, down, and then, oops. There's a ball peg at the torso, I guess if that's what you want to call it. Well, yeah, it's a torso, but, so the ball peg at the head's nice, and then you do get a hinge and swivel at the arms. Just make sure they're in the right direction, because they are thin, so you don't want to break them. It'll rotate on there, and they each all come with their own joint, so you don't take it off at the shoulder. You take the whole thing out, which is nice. I like that. Then, like it showed, you do get a little bit of a diaphragm joint. It really doesn't do anything but provide a swivel, and it pops out a little too easy for my liking, so I kind of just wish it wasn't there because it doesn't really do anything. And then she can do the splits. I mean, with the soft goods, the dress is gonna like work with you, so you can get it, you know, just kind of pose it. Then it'll kick forward, so you can get them to sit down if you want. Back, yeah, I kind of just wish this wasn't here. And then, oops, gotta fix your dress, Blossom. Now, you also have to keep in mind, too, that the black band, I guess it's like their belt or just like the design of their dresses, it is a separate piece, and it does slide off a little bit more than I'd like, so I do kind of find that annoying. I might put a little dab of glue on the back just to keep that on the dress, because I'm never going to take that off. But, and then it does have a thigh swivel, so nice ball peg in there. Not bad at all. It's as much articulation as I would want, and the accessories suffice what lack of articulation joints there are on the arms and legs, so I'm okay with that. Usually I like to do the accessories first, but I wanted to go over articulation just to get that out of the way. Now, each of them are going to come with the same face plates with the corresponding iris colors, so you get the confused face, the angry face, the neutral face, and then the frowning face. So I really can't imagine that you're going to need any other style of face for the Powerpuff Girls. I really, really like that. Maybe like a closed eye head would have been nice, but I like this because I know which one I'm going to use for each one of them. So it makes me happy. It's pretty good to see all of them have their corresponding faces. I think Bubbles should have came with, instead of like a super angry face, instead of this face for Bubbles, I would have liked the closed eye, like super happy. That would have been cool. And then for arms, you get bent arms. And this is for each one of them as well. So you get bent arms, you get shorter arms, they're just nubs. You get shorter arms, and then you get, which is really cool, just clips in there, crossed arms set, I guess. I'll show that off with Buttercup because that's how I'm going to have her. And then you get fully bent knees, so like this, a pair of fully bent legs, and I don't think that it matters what side goes on which, because it is just kind of like the same sculpt. And then you get semi-bent knees, so I think that's enough variation for me, and I'd rather them do that interchangeable parts than actual articulation points on something like this. Next up, we'll take a look at Bubbles. And now Bubbles, the only different articulation she has is she has a ball peg on her like pigtails. So that's pretty cool. This one pops out kind of easy, but this one stays in pretty good. So you can get them lean back or forward or even upside down if you want. So I like that. That's pretty cool. And then the rest is the same with the ball joints and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to show that her eyes are also painted very clean. And then you do get the bright, vibrant dress. Now, again, you do get all the same accessories. So all the same arms and legs. I've been keeping them organized in the face plates. But you do get the angry one, the the cocky face, and then the angry face. And this one, they scuff easy, so be careful. Luckily, I haven't scuffed them yet. But like I said, I would have, for Bubbles, I would have much rather had like a closed eye, super happy face rather than the super angry face. But it's whatever. I also want to mention that the stands are not my favorite. I think they could have been done better. I think they should have been put on a ball joint instead of a straight peg. And the straight peg is different from the base that goes in, like the stand is a separate piece from the base. And if you push too hard, this goes through and kind of pushes it forward. So I think these stands could have been done better. They work. They're not terrible. But I don't know. I think these kind of fall apart a little more than I'd like them to, which does get annoying. because you're constantly like putting things in and taking things out. So these are kind of like those figures that look great in my opinion, and are of characters that I've wanted on the shelf. They're not like top 10 or anything, but I've always kind of wanted Powerpuff Girls on the shelf. But they're kind of just, you pose them and you put them on the shelf kind of deal. But yeah, I kind of wish the stands were better. Also, missed opportunity to give us the color swooshes as stands. I'm going to look and see if I can find something online, because I really was hoping that they would come with that. I kind of thought they did. I don't know where I saw that, but I thought that they were going to come with like their colored swooshes, like when they take off. I don't know why they don't have that. That kind of sucks. But yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of the stands, but whatever. And then I guess by design default, Buttercup has the least amount of articulation, just because there's nothing that moves on her hair. She's got that little bob cut, but I think her face looks good. Again, she has all the same faces. So for her, the cocky face, the super angry face, and the kind of angry face, which I think works for Bloss or Buttercup. I'm probably going to have the super angry face on her, just because, she's the attitude-y girl, and I like that. So that's pretty cool. Her hair is painted and sculpted very cleanly. No articulation on it, like I said. And again, a good saturated green dress. So I just kind of think they didn't put enough ink or dye in the fabric for Blossom. Nothing more than that. Stand is fine. All the same stuff. Really nothing else to talk about. All the same legs and hands and all that good stuff as well. Finally, let's end the video with Mojo Jojo, because this dude is awesome. I love Mojo Jojo. If I was to only get one, I would just get Mojo, just because he is like kind of a Chad. I mean, dude fights little girls, which is a little weird, but like, what are you gonna do? I'm trying to fix his belt. His belt falls down very easy, but it's also just his design. His belt is very low on his body, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. So taking a look at the head sculpt here, it looks great. I love the green. I love the silver that they use on his little crown. Kind of wish that you could see his brain through this. I thought that you'd be able to. If you take a light and shine it through, you can see that there's nothing in there, but it is semi-translucent, which is nice. But all the purple paint on there is very, very nice. It looks good, which is nice. Again, I feel like, I don't know, it would have been cool if they put like his little brain in there. He has big swole monkey arms, which looks cool. There's a lot more articulation in Mojo. I guess this is why he costs. Also, I wanted to mention that too. I feel like the price gap between these are nuts. That originally, and this isn't the fault of the retailers, it's what Beast Kingdom charges. $90 for him versus $120 for the 3 Powerpuff Girls. I don't know. Something seems off with that. You do get a nice sculpt on the back of his hair. You really can't see where the faceplate plugs in, which is really nice. You really have to look for it. His collar piece is a harder plastic, or like a hard plastic, soft. And then you do get a bendy wire in the cape, which is nice. This side works a little bit better. This side kind of came undone a little bit, but it still gets the job done. He can get the cape flowing, which is very nice. And then obviously you get the soft goods for the torso here. He's got, his little boots. They look good, and then you get like his hands and all that. It's a soft sculpt, but it's supposed to be. It's an animated character. Man, this belt is really bothering me right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna wind up putting some glue on that, just because it's supposed to be there, but it keeps like sliding down, and I hate that. I'm not the biggest fan of soft goods. I would have much preferred if these were just hard plastic, but that's just me. I know some people do like soft goods. I like soft good cape. That's about it. Like, his cape is perfect, but whatever. So he does come with a few accessories as well. So he comes with 2 interchangeable face plates. You do get the screaming psychotic head, which is definitely my favorite and the one that I'm going to display him with. And you get his like sweet little monkey head. So the face plates kind of just switch out. So I haven't done this yet, actually. His head pops off. And then, I guess that's why they didn't put the brain in there. I still feel like they could have, but. Now remember, the ears go with the head, so you don't want to pull on the ears. You want to kind of like pull from the head, from the top and the bottom. Just kind of work it off. Again, it's probably harder the first time around. You kind of see in there, double ball peg. For now, I'm going to put on the psychotic head, because that's the one I like the most. It clips in there nice, pop on his brain. Look at that. He's like, he's a good monkey. So, looks pretty cool. Then he comes with some interchangeable hands. You get the gripping hands, which is pretty cool. And then you get the wide open hands, which is definitely what I'm going to use for him because he's like crazy monkey. And then you do get the vial, which is nice. So it's like a flask. You get a little pin on there. I love the metallic purple. And the hands hold it very well as he drops it. But the hands, they're kind of like softer plastics. You can kind of like squeeze them on there. Looks good. Holds it very well. In terms of articulation, he's got the most out of the 4 figures, obviously. The head's on a double ball peg, as you saw. So he'll look up and down, pivot a little bit and rotate. He's got a big head and a small body, I understand. Shoulders go upwards that far. They go down. They'll rotate 360. You do get a bicep swivel. You get single jointed elbow, which isn't the neatest cut, but it works. And then that'll rotate as well. And then you get a wrist swivel and hinge, which is nice. So you can really get them in like if you want them like knuckle crawling, you can do that. If you want them running, you can do that. It's nice. You get a waist swivel. And then the hips or like the ankle, I don't know. He's got very short legs. They're kind of loose. They hold a pose. Like if your balance game is good enough, you can get them like one-footed. I had that earlier, but they are a little loose. But not enough to like make them fall all the time. So they're just on a ball peg. Will kick forward, back, out to the side if you hinge it correctly, and then it'll rotate. So definitely enough articulation for Mojo Jojo. And then, like I said, you do get the bendy wire cape. So I think that's fine for Mojo. There's really nothing else that I feel like he needs in terms of articulation, to be honest with you. Now, I kind of showed off scaling earlier, but again, just to be a little bit more thorough with it, I'm only going to put Blossom here because Blossom is the tallest with the bow on her head. So here is monkey next to monkey. You get the Peely and the King Kong. You know, again, they could be smaller, but they're also... Whoa, I love when that happens. But they're not terrible, in my opinion. Again, and at this point, I kind of just like good figures instead of like scaling. Like, sure, I want everything to scale together, but I think that these wouldn't work in like a 2-scale thing just because they would be so small. I feel like they'd be kind of boring. So I'm happy that they made them a little bit bigger. And then there is them next to Zombie Cap as well. So make your decisions. Obviously, they're not in scale, but I feel like they could be worse. Especially Mojo Jojo. I think he's fine. I like it anyway. So you're probably wondering, yo, Ant, what are your final thoughts on these figures? And I gotta say, at the full price, I don't know if it's there. Like, I really, really like them. And I think that they're a lot of fun once you, like, start interchanging pieces and making each character, you know, be more specific to their character. But they are expensive, no matter how you cut it. And I don't think I would have gotten them if I didn't get them for 50% off. I am very grateful and happy for that. So shout out to Blue Line Collectibles. Rest in peace, right? But yeah, so at their price points, I can't see Mojo being 90, maybe 50 bucks, 70, but I think 90 is a little expensive. But the figure, that price aside, the figure itself is pretty much perfect for what it's supposed to be. Sure, would I like them to be a little bit smaller, to be more in scale? Yeah, but it's not the end of the world for me. But I know it's a deal breaker for a lot of people. So at the price point of 120 for the Powerpuff Girls and then 90 for Mojo, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 because I think it's really expensive for what you get. And the belt is, really annoying on him because he doesn't have a waist. And it's really frustrating to get that belt to stay on him. Otherwise, I think he's damn perfect. But at that price point with the belt, I just feel like the belt should have been glued on all 4 of them. But, yeah, whatever. As for the girls, I'm going to give them each a rating of 8 out of 10. Again, I think it's a little expensive, but for what you get, it's pretty much perfect for a Powerpuff Girls figure. Again, I wish they were a little bit smaller, but I can't complain. I got them half off. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot over there and have a lot of fun. So I'm sure you all will too. But as always, let me know. You copying these guys? See you guys in the next one. Peace.